kept hounding me down, and on that last restart, he got up on the outside of me. I couldn't believe he did it again, and I just said I got to go after him. And luckily, I got under him, and we had a drag race down the front stretch, and I was the guy who come out on top.
Well, you did, and a good run for you to come back from some adversity there in the first or the second race in the non-wing show. A fourth place for you there. So as we add up the points, looks like you got a good shot at being the Copper World Champion this year. Congratulations.
Oh wow! That wasn't even in my thought. That'd be amazing.
Nelson Rodriguez, we'll add up the points to confirm for sure. But looks like Rodriguez could have won this. A guy who's never won the Copper World Classic Championship before, and until just now had never won a Copper World feature. Rocket Rob Warren comes home with the win in the non-wing show. A long night, Rob, but you were able to hold Kyle Clark off at the end. How fulfilling is it to be able to get this win finally here at Phoenix?
Man, that was a race. The wing show, I don't really want to talk about that much. I got pounded into the outside wall for no reason on the dog leg on the second lap. I mean, I had an awesome run. My car was amazing, and I was going around the outside, and someone just turned right. The non-wing show, though, front row could not get it together. They could not get a good start. So we restarted it twice, which is not typical of supers. We restarted it twice and then sent them to the tail. Not something we want to do, obviously, ever, but something we have to do to keep the show moving. So starting on the front row made it a lot easier. However, I was getting pressure from behind. The back end was getting bumped off. There were spots where the guy behind me was way faster than I was, and I just had forward bite and grunt. So, congratulations to Nelson on his win. That's awesome. That's the one we all crave, winged win. The non-wing win, that's also ran, in my opinion. The wing win is important. The non-wing win is also important, but not as important. And like you said earlier, I've not won a super modified race at Phoenix, so that's the first. And back in the day when we ran modifieds, I loved Phoenix and NASCAR heat with the modifieds. The drive off the corner translated to your straightaway speed, translated to your entry speed. NASCAR heat in the wing car, once you hit the straightaway, they have so much horsepower, they're all going the same speed. R Factor, another different animal, way more like the NASCAR heat modifieds. If you can get your corner speed correct and keep the tail end under you, that's the trick. Then you got a good car. I grabbed a lot of setups tonight. First, second, third of the winged race and second and third of the non-winged race. I'll be looking forward to, perusing through those, throwing them in my notebook, and understanding a little bit more of what I'm lacking next year. But again, amazing races. First race, the race looked amazing once I got sidelined, and that happens in racing. That's a racing deal. But the second race, Kyle Clark, what a great job. Putting the screws to me left and right and left and right, and never hit me hard enough to upset the car, just enough to let me know he was there. It was a great race. And again, congratulations, Nelson. Thanks to you, Bob, for everything you're doing, and thanks to Kevin Timmons, because the broadcast, I just watched a show open for the first time like 2 weeks ago, and I was like taken aback. The work he's working on, the work he's doing is amazing. Everyone should be thankful to KT as well as you, for all the work you're doing. But then again, you got a face made for radio.
Yes, that is true. And tonight it's a long face, I'll tell you. Wow, long night. So got a lot of work to do. we're going to close things out, but before we do, we want to say a happy belated birthday to Wild Willie Stutzman, who celebrated another one in his 80s down in Florida this past weekend. And coming up, happy birthday to SUPRS champion Mighty Miles Maxson on the 17th. Coming up next week, our winter Western swing continues as we moved into California for the President's Day special, a NASCAR heat race. In fact, the next two races, NASCAR heat races in California. And that will be the President's Day special coming up. And you can learn more about that on supers.net. Don't forget, in the meantime, between that race and now, we'll have